Chicago Tonight segments on early childhood education are made possible by a grant from the McCormick Tribune Foundation, investing in our children, communities, and country.
2 years ago, Governor Blagojevich made national headlines with Preschool For All. It's an ambitious plan to offer preschool to every 3- and 4-year-old in Illinois. Here's a look at efforts in some Chicago communities to make that happen.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon at Peck Elementary School near Midway Airport, and these children are just starting their school day. They're part of what's called a third shift preschool, a new phenomenon at some public schools in Chicago's Latino neighborhoods.
We are overcrowded. We have no space, but we are utilizing every space to help our children and our community.
That includes the auditorium. Every afternoon, teachers transform it into a preschool classroom.
There is a huge waiting list to get into preschool here. I've heard time and time again the kindergartners, teachers say that they can tell when a child has been in preschool. They come in with the skills they need to start off right away in kindergarten.
For students in one of Peck's other third shift classrooms, preschool also means learning English.
Roja. ¿Alguien sabe cómo se dice roja en inglés? Max? Oh, no, Christian. Red. Muy bien. Right now I have 20 in pre-K, and out of those 20, 17 kids don't speak English, just Spanish. Run! Run! Let's run! Let's run! Those kids, okay, when they go to kindergarten, more than half are switched to only English.
These 2.5-hour preschool classes are being paid for with money from the state's Preschool For All program. Governor Blagojevich received national attention when he unveiled a plan to make Illinois the first state to provide preschool to all 3- and 4-year-olds.
And if it's okay for the governor's kids to be able to go to preschool, then why can't every single parent have the same opportunity?
In its first year, lawmakers authorized $45 million for Preschool For All. Now in its second year, Preschool For All has been given an additional $30 million. $10 million goes directly to Chicago public schools.
We're not going to see any better test scores tomorrow. We won't see any better test scores for 3, 4, 5 years at the earliest, but this is the right long-term investment.
Most of the new Preschool For All slots that opened in Chicago this year are in Latino neighborhoods. While some of these neighborhoods face overcrowding and wait lists, several low-income African-American communities are having trouble filling their preschool programs. Mayor Daley says early childhood education is the key to closing the achievement gap between rich and poor students. He recently made this plea from a South Side school.
There are now 1,500 open slots in our 2.5-hour pre-kindergarten program for kids who have turned 3 years old but not yet 5. Today, I want to say to all these parents of children who are eligible for this wonderful program, please enroll your child.
A study by the University of Chicago's Chapin Hall Center estimates some 15,000 children eligible for state-subsidized preschool in Chicago are not attending. These community activists are trying to figure out why. After canvassing door-to-door in Austin, Inglewood, Humboldt Park, and Logan Square, their survey showed that 6 out of 10 age-eligible children in these neighborhoods were not in preschool.
In the survey, 23% of the parents said that their children was not ready. 15% of them was lack of transportation. They didn't have a way to take their child there, and they didn't have a way for anyone to come back and pick them up. 2.5 hours was a big problem for a lot of parents. And then 13% of cost. A lot of them thought that they had to pay.
Some of the grandmothers who would take care of them were afraid to enroll them because they were afraid to lose their child care supplement.
There's a fear that if they go and send their kids to preschool, even if just for 2.5 hours, that they'll lose their main form of income. And even though we know that that's not true and that they won't lose that, there's a lot of fear and a lot of misunderstanding.
One group that's come up with creative solutions to getting low-income children into preschool is Community Connections, a program run by Illinois Action for Children. It provides transportation to children in home child care. Cheryl Jones is a grandmother who runs a child care center out of her home in Austin.
Have a good day. Put your hat on. Okay. See ya.
4 days a week, her children get picked up and brought to a nearby preschool where they spend 2.5 hours with a teacher who has a bachelor's degree in early childhood education.
We're going to make us a graph of our favorite fruits. You're going to come up here and put your name by your favorite fruit.
They think the program is great. They really appreciate what we do with their children. They appreciate not only the academic knowledge, but the social skills that the kids gain from the program.
On Fridays, instead of going to preschool, the preschool teacher visits the child care homes to teach the children and help the providers learn as well.
Hi. How you guys doing today? Good. Okay. What you got?
$1.
That's $1.
And this is another $1. And this is $10.
So we got $10
and this is
$10. I think it's a great model. And I'm happy that we were the first ones to be a part of it and start this. Our children are writing their whole names. We have some doing addition, subtraction, they're reading, and they will be ahead of their class. A lot of our kids have been accepted into great private schools. Providence St. Emile scoring the highest they've ever seen at Providence. And I'm really proud.
Preschool participation across the country is on the rise. Back in 1965, only 16% of 4-year-olds attended. Today, that number is up to 70%. But preschool attendance varies greatly depending on a family's income and education level. Almost 90% of 4-year-olds whose mothers hold a college degree attend preschool. That number drops to 55% if the mother is a high school dropout. Here in Illinois, the governor's long-term goal is to make preschool available to the parents of all 3- and 4-year-olds. But at this point, priority for the 2.5-hour-day program is going to children from families with incomes under $60,000 or who have other special needs. With Illinois' fiscal health in crisis and state dollars scarce, the future of universal preschool is still uncertain. For Chicago Tonight, I'm Christian Farr.
And we'll have more updates on preschools in Illinois throughout the year. It's part of our series on early childhood education. You can find out more on our website, WTTW.com, and click on Chicago Tonight.